We crossed the wide parking lot. I saw a few cars parked near the front gate. At the far side of the lot stood a row of purple and green buses with the word Horrorland across the side. As we rode closer, I got a good look at the front gate. The same monster we had seen behind the billboard rose up behind the big purple and green sign over the gate. The sign read, "The Horrorland Horrors welcome you to Horrorland." "I don't get that sign," Mom said. "What are the Horrorland Horrors?" "We'll find out," I exclaimed happily. The solemn, airy organ music floated heavily over the parking lot. Dad pulled into a space in an empty aisle to the right of the front gate. Luke and I pushed open the back doors before the car had even stopped. "Let's go!" I cried. Luke, Clay, and I started trotting towards the gate. As I ran, I stared up at the green monster over the sign. This one didn't move its head like the billboard monster, but it looked very real. I glanced back and saw that Mom and Dad were hurrying to catch up with us. "This is going to be way cool!" I exclaimed. And then I gasped as a deafening explosion made the ground shake. And I stared back in horror as our car burst apart, exploding into a million pieces. Greetings, Internet, and welcome to Bookworms Goosebumps Retrospective. Today, we travel to book number 16 with One Day at Horrorland. Lizzie and her family are on vacation, but get lost since they forgot to bring the map. While traveling around the desert, they find a sign to a horror-themed amusement park called Horrorland. They arrive, but when their car blows up, they are left with nothing else to do but to explore the park, checking out places like Werewolf Village, the Slide of Doom, and the Hall of Mirrors. But there's something strange about these attractions. They seem real, too real, and if they aren't careful, they might never leave. If Slappy is the face of the Goosebumps franchise, then Horrorland is the destination. This little book right here would go on to be featured part of the TV show, several video games, and the setting for the revived series. The cover is pure classic Goosebumps that brings me back to my childhood of being scared of even touching the books. With the green monster gripping the Welcome to Horrorland sign with the claw marks, that really creepy tree, and the park itself right out in the background, just waiting to scare us. Enter if you dare. This one, I have to say, is one of R.L. Stine's greatest creations, where he just lets his imagination go wild. A lot of the fun is just seeing the different sights and attractions that Horrorland has to offer. But what really makes it interesting is the reveal at the climax. I won't spoil it, but it made me think the entire Goosebumps series is within one world. A place where ghosts, creatures, and monsters, old and new, live among us, with Horrorland as their ultimate creation. At least that's how my mind works.
My poor insane son.
The only other thing about the book that left me unsettled is that we see other people walking around the park, and then they disappear. We don't talk to any of them, and we have no clue whatever happens to them. But knowing the park and what several attractions can do to you doesn't make you think happy thoughts. Overall, this is a true classic, and one I enjoyed all the way through. Even the ending, which is probably one of the funniest the series has to offer yet, with a great setting that showcases Stine's imagination and intense scares. One Day at Horrorland is a true classic. What about you, Internet? What's your opinion? Till next time, have a scary day.